Right, so this is my second stream. I'm still kind of getting the hang of things, so let me just make sure I get everything set up properly before I really get started. But today's stream, what we're going to be doing is creating our next video. So um, will be different from today is we're going to be going from start to finish. Well, not sure if it'll be through finish just because I don't know how long it'll take, but we will get as far as we can get. Uh, the big thing for today is that we are going to be starting from the beginning. So yesterday's stream, we were halfway through a video, so it's a little bit different. You guys didn't get to see exactly how the entire process starts from the beginning. So let me just make sure I get this stream information set up properly, and then I will jump into it. So I'm still trying to figure out how to pull up the chat. Not sure what I did yesterday. Different from what I'm doing right now. Apologize for this. I might need to just pull up separate tab and have YouTube on there. This doesn't seem to be working. Yesterday when I did this, it actually had the live. For some reason, it's not showing it. Maybe this will do it. View in live control room. Okay, so I think that may have done it. All right, awesome. So I've got that figured out. I know how to handle that in the future. So I guess to get started, again, let me just reintroduce myself for anyone who is watching this after the fact. My name is Jimmy. I am the creator of Science in a Hurry. I've been doing this now for uh, about 3 years, off and on, and didn't start off with the greatest quality of content. You know, I'm not the most creative person, so I do rely extensively on tools. You know, I'm not an artist or anything of that sort. So at the beginning, my content was very generic, a lot of stock footage, basic AI voices, and so forth. And as the years progressed, the tools at my disposal increased. And today, now I'm using three primary tools. I'm using Google's VO3 or the Omni. I'm using 11 Labs for the voice. And then I use CapCut for all the video editing. And then I also use Google Gemini. That's where I create my scripts and get all the SEO data that I would need for the videos themselves. So yesterday's video, unfortunately, no views as of yet. We can see that. What is the greenhouse effect? This is a video we've made. Um, to be expected. I've been struggling to kind of get views on some of these newer videos, but it is something I'm confident I will start to see turn around, especially the more I stream my process. Hopefully, I'll start to gain a little bit more interest in what it is that I'm doing. As far as yesterday's stream, we can see the details here. Not bad. So for a first time stream, I had 19 views. Again, nothing special there, but I want to say it was about 2 hours worth of watch time. So those 19 people did stick around for some time, and again, hopefully something I can see continue to increase as I do this more often. So anyway, today's video, now that I've kind of set the agenda here and talked a little bit, today's video is going to be a uh, biography type video. So I've done these in the past. The most recent one here for the long form you could see is who was Isaac Newton. So these videos, um, just trying to focus on big science contributors throughout time, and just kind of bring to light what their contributions were to science, why they were so famous or crucial to science as a whole. So my aim with these long form videos is 2 minute format. So I'm not looking to make the longest of videos. And the logic there is I wanted to make a video that was short enough to give people enough facts or information that they can feel they walked away and learned something, but not too long to where people kind of lose interest, right? So I used to make 3 minute videos for my long forms, and although I had some success here and there with certain videos, um, I feel 2 minutes is a nice middle ground. It's just longer than a short, but just long enough to, again, get a little bit more information out than you would otherwise with a short. Now, the other reason for the 2 minute time frame is given the channel name, Science in a Hurry. That is a theme that I've wanted to stick to, which is just getting information out there for people who, well, are in a hurry or nowadays lack the proper attention span for a longer video. I did play around a couple weeks back with this 10-minute fact video of Mercury, but um, I didn't like it because it was such a long video. I sacrificed quality, and it's just a series. If you were to look at this, a series of
If you glanced at Mercury for just a second,
images.
you'd probably mistake it for
So
our
all
moon.
the images I
It's dark
generated
grey,
myself,
heavily scarred by
but nothing's
ancient
animated.
impact despite its calm 8 Earth days. Normal path across.
And so I didn't really like doing that. I felt it was lazy. I was just trying to um, try a trend that I've been seeing with these faceless videos as of late, where really it's just a bunch of images that people are using to put together for a video as opposed to animating it. But um, not my style. I like putting in a little bit more effort, trying to make things a little bit more engaging. So I know I've said this already, but we'll go ahead and get started. So the video, I'll show you what I do, the very first thing I do, which is build the script. And so I do this entirely in Google Gemini. And my Gemini, I have an ongoing chat which is used for my scripts, and it's already been configured with the rules and everything. So the typical format is I'll tell it what it is I want. So usually I'll say something like, here, I'm ready for my next video. Now this was this last prompt, I was switching to this 250 word length. Before that, if you were to look at my videos, I was going pretty heavily into the shorts, and the shorts required, I think it was about 120 words, is what I was doing to get just over a minute in length. I could actually scroll up to the previous video. Yeah, so that one was 117 words. So my target for the shorts was 120 words just to hit exactly about 1 minute. But in order to hit 2 minutes, based off the voice I use for 11 labs, I found 250 words is about right. It sometimes it'll be a little bit over, other times a little bit under, or just right at about 2 minutes. So anyway, what I'll do here is and to show the format. So I'll say what it is I want, what the topic is. It'll pop out my script. It'll tell me the exact word count because I make sure that I want it to be as close to 250 words as possible to give some flexibility. And then it'll also give me the metadata. So the title, description, and then the comma separated tags, all the information I need to pop into the video as I'm uploading it. And in this case, my next video, the one we're going to start today, is going to be about Nikola Tesla. So what I would do is I usually type something along the lines of, I'm ready for my next video. I would like it to answer the fundamental question, who is, or in this case, who was Nikola Tesla? So I always say this where I would I wanted to answer the fundamental question of, and then whatever it is. And the logic there is about a month and a half or so ago, I wanted to really start to lean in on, it's called evergreen topics. These are things that people will always be curious as time goes on. So you could see the last video was what are the Voyager spacecraft, even though that was a mission that happened, um, what would it be, 40 years, 40 plus years ago. As long as YouTube's around, people are always going to be curious, and they'll probably type in something similar to this. And if you were to look at all of my previous shorts, that was a trend I was going with. Who was Nicholas Copernicus? Who was Galileo Galilei? What are shooting stars? What are black holes? What are nebulas? What is the Ring of Fire? And so forth and so forth. It's meant to keep this content relevant for essentially ever. And we could see, again, I don't have the biggest of numbers, but we could see how it has had some success in certain videos. And these numbers are always slightly ticking up because I may get a handful of people watching one of these videos, each day, and those add up. And so the idea here is the more evergreen topics I can make that essentially answer a question, that it'll keep this content relevant, and the more content there is, the more questions are answered, which means all of these essentially can become a passive source of views. So I'm not looking to go viral for any video. Science content doesn't tend to be viral to begin with. It's more just a curiosity based thing. I have had videos in the past where people are um, where I've actually noticed it was implemented in lesson plans. So a teacher probably found a video they liked, put it into their classroom's lesson plan. And the reason I know that is some of those videos, the vast majority of the views are actually Google Classroom. So obviously it was posted on some sort of syllabus given out during the school year, and that's how people are finding the video. So that's the goal here, is to make content like that where people will continuously, look for my videos and kind of make it a something that isn't depending on just going viral for a couple days or a couple weeks and then never getting views ever again. Anyway, back to the script here. So I'm ready for my next video. I would like it to answer the fundamental question, who was Nikola Tesla? And that's really it. So again, there's a lot of background instructions that I've built over time. So you don't see that, but when I go ahead and click submit, we will get a script. And so I'll always read through it. Now, the thing is here, I know some people will say, well, it's AI, AI makes mistakes. Um, do you fact check it? Yes and no. So when it comes to things like this, AI is very accurate, right? This is information that's been around for who knows how long. It's in many ways common knowledge among the science education, and it's less likely to make mistakes here with a question like this than with a question that is a little bit more complex. My aim is not to go for complexity. I'm not trying to dive deep into, mathematical, scientific formulas or theories or anything of that sort. Everything's always very high level. But every so often, I will come across something that I feel that might be questionable and is new to me, and I will do additional follow-up to make sure that that information is correct. But for the most part, as long as I can remember, I've never had any issues, especially with Gemini nowadays. It's just gotten better and better. But anyway, if we take a look at the script, it'll always start with the question. So in this case, who was Nikola Tesla? The reason there, again, if someone is looking for this video, they want to know who Nikola Tesla is. Not only do they get confirmation that this video should answer the question when they see the title, but then within the very first few seconds of watching the video, it asks the same exact question that's probably in their head and probably also the reason that brought them to the video. So it would, in theory, the idea is it'll keep them watching because now they know, okay, this video should answer my question. Who was Nikola Tesla? So if we look at the rest of the script, born in 1856 in modern day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world. While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents, which is a very good movie, by the way, if you've never seen it, Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power. Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system. Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers and transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss. Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale. Beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipated technologies decades ahead of their time. He pioneered early radio wave transmission, designed high frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils and built one of the world's first wireless remote controlled boats, laying the groundwork for modern robotics. See, now that is something that's new to me is the wireless remote controlled boat. Actually never heard of that. So let's go Tesla. It doesn't take long. Nikola Tesla's remote control boat, patented in 1898. He had a 4 foot long miniature ship and control box. Yeah, so right off the bat, I can see confirmation that that did in fact take place. Laying the groundwork for modern robotics at Niagara Falls, he helped design the first major large scale hydroelectric power plant, proving that clean energy could power humanity. So he struggled financially in his later years and held ambitious visions of worldwide wireless energy transmission that were never realized. Tesla's genius remains undeniable. Holding over 300 patents, Nikola Tesla was a true scientific futurist who spent his life pulling the future directly into the present. So, one thing I realized with this script that I forgot to do, which I typically do when I'm doing a video about a person, is I'll follow it up. I say, I want to answer the fundamental question, who was Nikola Tesla? And then I would say, make sure to cover his his biggest contributions to science. That way people are, um, getting the most information. And so in this case, I would say this script already kind of covers a lot of that. So I don't see a reason to do that, but usually that's what I'll put in there. And this metadata information, as of right now, I can completely ignore. Don't need it yet, not until the video is done and ready to be uploaded. So what I do next, I have my script. I move over to 11 Labs. And this is where you can see my old script. This was from the previous video. Um, I'll go in here, delete everything, almost everything. Just keep a little letter or two to make it easier to see visually, and you'll see why here in a second. Okay, so if you're wondering what these purple brackets are, with 11 Labs, you can give instructions for the voice. You can have it um, set a certain tone, so you can say something like, laughing as an example, and the entire line following the bracket, the voice will say whatever it is while laughing or crying or sad or angry. And so it'll change the tone of the voice. Now, the reason I've had to do this, and I essentially put each line of the script on its own bracket, is for whatever reason I've noticed with 11 Labs when it comes to longer scripts. I don't know if it's the voice that I use, it will start to sound very different um, halfway through or by the end of it. It'll sound completely different from how it started off. So I found by continuously reprompting the voice with the instructions throughout the entire script, it for the most part keeps the voice pretty continu- constant. So anyway, what I'll do, I'll go back to the script and I'll start posting everything here or pasting it for the most part line by line. So the first one's always going to be the shortest because that is a thoughtful question. Who was Nikola Tesla? And then I'll go in here and start. getting it sentence by sentence. Um, about halfway done here. One thing I don't really like, I hate it when it gives me these very, very long, drawn out sentences, only because, again, the voice can start to really mess up if it's speaking one very long duration um, sentence. But at the same time, um, I could always kind of split this up. It's not like it's going to know any different. I could kind of take this out, put it on its own line, but it should be fine. We'll see. Okay, so that one ended up taking 2 lines fewer than the last one, so I can delete those. And now we've got our whole script copied and pasted into 11 Labs. And all you do here, click Generate Speech. It'll automatically start uh, speaking the script. And what I'm doing now is I'm listening to it, making sure it doesn't mispronounce any words, making sure um, that it sounds okay, and also that it is, in this case, at least 2 minutes long. Hasn't really been too much of an issue. Usually it actually comes out to around 2 minutes, 20 seconds or so. But let's take a look.
Who was Nikola Tesla? Born in 1856 in modern-day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world. While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents, Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power. Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system. Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers and transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss. Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale. Beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipated technologies decades ahead of their time. He pioneered early radio wave transmission, designed high-frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils, and built one of the world's first wireless remote-controlled boats, laying the groundwork for modern robotics. At Niagara Falls, he helped design the first major large-scale hydroelectric power plant, proving that clean, renewable energy could power humanity. Though he struggled financially in his later years and held ambitious visions of worldwide wireless energy transmission that were never realized, Tesla's genius remains undeniable. Holding over 300 patents, Nikola Tesla was a true scientific futurist who spent his life pulling the future directly into the present.
Okay, so that one ended up perfect. And you could see here in the bottom right the length, 2 minutes and 3 seconds, exactly where I wanted it to be. So now I'll download that, and now it's time to start putting it together. So here's CapCut. Let me get the audio. I'll drag the audio here. And one of the things I always do with the voice audio, I immediately set it to -5 decibels, only because if you're looking at it, well, it went away. These bars, a lot of them were hitting this yellow. Let's see here. This yellow indicates that it's really loud, or just a little bit louder than what it should be for comfort. So I'll set it to -5, and then you'll see all of these yellow or orange bars go away instantly. It's not a huge change, very subtle, but just makes it sound a little bit nicer. So we've got the script here. It was shorter than the previous video, so I can adjust this. And then I always have my videos end with the logo of the channel. That only goes for 5 seconds, but it can help, especially if the script is not quite to the length that I want it to be. It can add those last couple seconds, which, especially for shorts, makes all the difference. Now, go ahead and start with the creative process.
Who was Nikola Tesla? Born in 1856 in modern-day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world. While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison,
So one thing I wanted to do, I wanted to make the opening scene for this one really engaging, and I had an idea in my head where it was in a dark room with the Tesla coils and the electricity's going all over the place, and just kind of capture the person's attention from the get-go. Now, the issue here is how it's going to overlap with the script. Give me a second. I'm just pulling it up. I'm pulling it up on my other screen, so it's easier for me to visualize.
who was Nikola Tesla? Born in 1856 in modern-day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world.
So the problem here with that opening scene, I usually like to try and pair it up with the audio. And in this case, if we look, that entire first little section is about 17 seconds long. And if I tried doing it with just the first portion, the Who was
Who
Nikola
was
Tesla,
Nikola Tesla?
that is only about 3 seconds. So I could cut and extend this portion of the script where there'll be an additional second of silence. So this first frame is 4 seconds. But the problem with that is I don't feel 4 seconds of that opening scene is long enough. And if I go any longer than that, 4 seconds is the shortest you can do for Omni. And the longest you can do is 10 seconds. Now you can try and extend it. It doesn't have an official extension for anything beyond 10 seconds. So sometimes it's not a very fluid transition. But in this case, we'll try and do that. So we'll make the first one 10 seconds. I will show you how we get started here. So the first thing is always bringing in the astronaut and the alien. So I drag those over to kind of establish the characters, establish the art style. And once they're there, so for this first scene, how do I want to describe it? I'm going to say the astronaut and alien are in a dark warehouse with Nikola Tesla during, and let me get the era, during the 1800s. And I do that with these historical people because sometimes if I'll say something like this, it'll be in a modern day warehouse or something. There'll be technology or something that's not from the the era. So the astronaut and alien are in a dark warehouse with Nikola Tesla during the late 1800s, and the room has a massive Tesla coil with electricity sparking all over the room. The three are observing the the activity with awe. Okay, so we've got that, and then I always have to establish that the alien's eyes and astronaut's visor remain blacked out because sometimes it'll produce images where either the aliens has human looking eyes with whites or the astronaut's visor is see through and it's just got some weird looking face. So I've got that instruction, and then I also want to say ensure it is in the same art style as the astronaut and alien. Okay. And then I create 8 pictures at a time usually, and we'll see if I like any of them. Okay. So let's see. You're probably going to like this one here in the middle. This one kind of fits what I had in mind. So now we'll do video. It's going to be a 10-second video, framed video. And now I have already most of the instructions I need. So astronaut and alien. I'm not going to change any of this up until the instruction of ensured is in the same art style. We don't have to worry about that because we have the image produced. So it is in the same art style. But I will say keep the camera stationary as always. So the camera remains stationary and no music, no speech. I don't want anyone talking. I don't want any music. And then one continuous scene, because sometimes, especially with these longer 10-second scenes, it'll make a bunch of cuts. Now, I don't think I need to give any sort of audio instructions because it's kind of obvious here. We should be hearing lots of electricity, lots of crackling. If not, then I'll do it in the second request. All right, so take a look at that. Give it a few seconds and see how that video turns out. Of course. So this is the one thing that's frustrating about VO is that you'll get these violations of generating things with prominent people. Even though Nikola Tesla's long gone, it won't do it if I have the instructions with it. So I'll have to edit this. I'll say the astronaut and alien are in a dark warehouse with, instead of Nikola Tesla, you replace it as with a man. The room has a massive Tesla coil. The three, okay, so that should do it. The only other reason it wouldn't is if the AI detects that even though it's animated, that this person looks an awful lot like Tesla, it'll still flag it. But we'll see. Yep. Same freaking issue. So I'm gonna try it a few more times. And the thing that is very frustrating is I never get these warnings or these violations when it comes to producing the image. It has absolutely no problem producing the image of pretty much anyone. Doesn't matter who it is, even if they're still alive. But as soon as you try and animate it, turn it into a video, that's when it starts having all kinds of issues. But this one looks like it should be going through. Maybe. Okay, let's watch. Awesome. So that one turned out not bad. Now, what I'm gonna do, because I need this to be 17 seconds, and this is only 10, is the last frame, I'll save it, and then using the same exact instructions down here, all I'm doing is now swapping out the starting frame with the frame that I just copied. And then I can switch it to 8 seconds in length. Now, the problem with doing this, as we may see, is since it's not an official extension of the previous clip. It's technically a standalone clip. Um, the audio may not link up. So we may have this audio from the first video, and then all of a sudden the second clip has completely different audio, or the colors may look slightly different, either slightly darker, slightly brighter. But we'll see how it looks, and as long as it looks pretty good, pretty decent, then we can merge the two for one full length 18-second clip. I believe this video seems to be going through just fine, so we shouldn't have the violation for prominent people. Okay, and let's check it out. So it sounded like it should link pair up. Only way to find out is I'm going to merge the two together. And then this is what's going to show us how it looks. Sometimes when it goes from one clip to the other, it's not a perfect transition. There'll be kind of like a stutter. Let's see. So still the first clip, still the first clip, and then second clip. Not bad. Doesn't line up perfectly, but it's definitely good enough. So let's download that, and that knocks out the first 17 seconds. So we'll see how that looks with the script. And that one was a bit loud of a scene, so I'll probably have to bring the audio down. My guess, maybe negative 20 decimals, probably 20. And let's see how it sounds.
Who was Nikola Tesla? Born in 1856 in modern-day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world. While history often
Not bad. So that one turned out pretty well. Now we'll go into the next portion.
While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents.
So right there, I'm going to make that its own scene. So that should be pretty simple. So what I can do i- is kind of have a scene of Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, like doing like a face-off, looking at each other, mean mugging each other, whatever the case might be. Always trying to take a little bit more of a comical approach here. So for that prompt, we will say, so we've got the astronaut and the alien are in a dark, no, let's have them, let's do something funny. Um, let's have them thinking of doing like a boxing a match, or being on the side of the turnbuckles, and you have Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla kind of staring each other down in the middle to indicate that they had a rivalry. Say that they're standing outside a boxing ring, I guess, on the outside of a boxing ring during the late 1800s, observing Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison in the middle of the ring, staring each other down aggressively. Then I can delete this instruction. The alien's eyes and astronaut's visor. Okay, so the astronaut and alien are standing on the outside of a boxing ring during the late 1800s, observing Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison in the middle of the ring, staring each other down aggressively. Very long winded. See how that turns out. I feel like I'm going to verify. I want to say Thomas Edison is or was a little chubby. And something like this down here, this kind of looks like a gray haired Abe Lincoln. But let's make sure, see what Thomas Edison looks like. Thomas Edison. Okay. I would say this one still kind of looks the most like him. Issue is we've got two aliens, so we gotta get rid of one of them. And the alien, for whatever reason, standing in the middle of the ring. So let's see if I can edit him out. Remove one of the aliens and have the other alien. No, first it can mess up with too many instructions. So just remove one of the aliens. Okay. And then I will say have the alien standing on the other side of the ropes. The other alternative was I could have done something a little funny and made the alien dressed up as a referee so that since he was already in the ring. But we'll see how this turns out. Yep. Now I just put it swap places with the astronaut and the alien. Let me try that one more time. Gives me issue. Just turn the alien into a referee. Okay. So still didn't want to put the alien outside. Not a problem. So we'll go back to this image and I'll say have the alien wearing a referee shirt. And then we'll see what that looks like. All right, awesome. So exactly like I was hoping. So now we will use that image. Video. Let me verify how long we need it to be. 17, 10, 26. Extend this scene a little bit. Okay, so it'll be 6 seconds. All right, the astronaut and alien are standing. Well, the alien is standing inside the ring, so I'm going to have to edit this. The astronaut is cheering on the fighters in the ring. The alien the alien is acting as a referee, and what do I want? Astronaut is cheering on the fighters in the ring. The alien is acting as a referee, and um, aliens. You know what? Let's have the two of them actually fighting. two fighters are trading blows. Why not? Alien's eyes, astronauts' eyes remain blacked out. And let's have the crowd in the background is cheering on the fight. The camera remains stationary and no music, no speech. All right, astronaut is cheering on the fighters in the ring. The alien is acting as a referee. The two fighters are trading blows. The alien's eyes and astronaut's visor remain blacked out. The crowd is cheering on the fight. The camera remains stationary. Okay, let's give that a try. So there's a lot of moving parts to this scene. So it may mess it up. It may not. We'll see. Usually, especially when you have so many people in the background, in this case, the crowd, it can do weird things. Well, should be a hopefully entertaining scene. Not bad. I like it. Download that. And this probably -10.
While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents, Tesla's
Wait a
revolution.
minute. I think I saw
While
something.
history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the
Yeah. Looked like it was like a camera flash in the background, but there's no camera. So I don't know. It's just a anomaly right where my mouse is. I'll replay it. You'll see a blue camera looking flash
While history often pitted him against
around
rivals like
here,
Thomas Edison in the famous War of
right
the
there.
Currents, Tesla's revolutionary work transformed. While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents, Tesla's revolution. Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power.
23, 31 what? 3127. And I extend this 27. Nope, that's the furthest it can go. If I did seconds, that would go to 2120 or 3120. It's good enough. All right. So for this scene, what I'm thinking is
Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power.
This one we can show like a um, modern day power plant. So how would we do that? Astronaut and alien are all right. Let's get are touring a modern day. Since we're doing this futuristic, let's do like a modern day green energy power plant. Okay, see how that works out. Kind of like this one with the cute little robot. So let's do that. So it only needs to be 8 seconds. We'll do the astronaut and alien are touring a modern day green energy power plant. The little robot tour guide is leading them down the path. Um, in this case, I'm not going to do any camera instructions. I'm going to hope that it just kind of follows them. And same with the audio. I could do something like a hum, electrical hum, but I'm curious to see what it'll come up with because I can't think if that's the best sound to have here. So let's see. Okay.
Welcome to our solar array. It
I forgot to say no music and no speech. Let's redo that. I was forgetting something. Kind of like this
Welcome to
little.
our solar array. It powers the entire facility. Next, we will see the wind turbine.
Do like that little robot character though. All right, let's see how it looks now. Not bad. So footsteps. You heard the little whizzing of the robot. You can hear kind of like the wind, I think. I like it. Sometimes it's hit or miss with the audio. If you don't give it instructions, sometimes it will either produce something really good or completely horrible, or nothing at all. And then you just have a completely silent scene. Okay, let's see how that
Of the
sounds.
currents. Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power.
10 was a little too much there. -5 because you can really hear it.
Currents. Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power. Tesla's great
Okay. Now let's see the next portion of the script.
Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system.
All right, so for that, what I'll do, that should be pretty easy. We're going to have the astronaut and alien are in a lab with Nikola Tesla during the late 1800s. Let's see. Tesla just invented just invented no, Tesla is working on inventing the alternating current electrical system. Okay. And sometimes with these kind of scenes, actually, let me edit it again for the alien is. I always like to have the alien kind of interacting a little bit more, helping. As of some of my last videos, I've been trying to kind of give the two characters some um, personality. So I've kind of made it to where the alien is really kind of the smart one, and the astronaut is kind of the dumb one. So, what I'll do here, because what I typically do to keep that theme, so here I have the alien assisting Tesla, and then I'll have the astronaut appears uninterested. So, make a few more of those, and then that'll usually have the astronaut off in a corner doing something, not paying attention. I were to pick one, kind of like this one with him just sitting off on the little stool, angry looking. The issue when it comes to videos, when you're dealing with wires like this, can really kind of mess up a lot. You'll see the wires do all kinds of weird stuff or disappear, reappear. Um, this was not too bad either. Astronaut just looks bored out of his mind in the corner. But let's try one of them first. Let me see how long it has to be. 120, 37:04, so 6 seconds. See, 6 seconds. Astronaut and alien are in the lab with, again, we have to change his name, with a man during the late 1800s. The man is working on inventing the alternating current electrical system. The alien is assisting the man. The astronaut appears uninterested. Alien's eyes. Astronaut's visor remain blacked out. The camera remains stationary. No music. No speech. The sound of the alien and man working. All right, let's see how that looks. Oh, yep, that one got flagged, of course. And it could also be, if you look at the image, sometimes it'll detect if the person's name is printed somewhere. So here we have N Tesla Laboratory or Laboratory. So it can detect and say, oh, well, put two and two together that this is supposed to be Tesla. It'll flag it that way. So sometimes I've had to edit the images if there's a plaque or a name to remove it. But in this case, it looks like it worked. Let's watch it. We needed it to do. This one I may not even need to lower the volume.
Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system. Unlike
I'll decrease it slightly, -5.
Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system. Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers and transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss.
It's 4912. So how do I want to do this one? Unlike direct current, alternate current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers. So I'll probably split it into two different scenes. One showing the alternate current, high voltages using transformers, and then another showing it transmitted across um, power lines. Let's see.
Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers.
So right there, 4414. Okay. So let's do the astronaut and alien are or the astronaut. No, I'll do the alien and Nikola Tesla are hooking up an alternating current system to a transformer. All right, they are hooking up an alternating current system to a transformer to increase a transformer to increase its voltage during the late 1800s. And then, of course, again, the astronaut appears uninterested. Okay, we will give this one a try. I am thinking probably do this one. They're all roughly about the same anyway. We'll do this. Let me see how long it needs to be. 4414, 3707. So 8 seconds. Okay, the alien. We've got to go here and edit it. Let's drag it. The alien and the man are hooking up an alternating current system to a transformer to increase its voltage. The astronaut appears uninterested. Camera remains stationary. The sound of the man and alien working can be heard. No music, no speech. Let's check that out. Or at least this one seems to be going through. Okay, good enough. This will probably reduce the audio, probably 10, be good.
Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers and transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss.
Okay, now we'll do this one. I think won't have the anyone in it. It's just going to be a well. What do I want to do this? A high angle shot during the late 1800s showing power lines as far as the eye can see transmitting AC power. So ensure it is in the same art style as the astronaut and alien, but they are not in it. Okay. Oh crap. No, no, no. Yep. I lost track of what I was doing here. So I'm generating the images. I want it to be so many. Let's do a single line. Angle shot during line showing a single row of power lines, and hopefully that won't be a cluster of a million power lines going all over the place. Okay, this one is more in line with what I was looking for. Kind of like this one. So we'll probably go with this one. Video. Let me see how long it needs to be. 49. So about 6 seconds. Video frame, 6 seconds. All right. So now we'll say a high angle shot during the late 1800s. This one, we'll just have the camera. What's the word I'm looking for? Flies in a straight line over the power lines to showcase how far they extend, something like that. Camera flies in a straight line over the power lines to showcase how far they extend. Um, Sound here should just be the sound of wind and a electrical hum can be heard. Music, no speech. So yeah, that turned out. And give it a few seconds. Okay. You see, I hate it messes up. It kind of warps right there and there. So I'll regenerate, see if it can't um, do a better job the second time around. Shouldn't be too difficult. The alternative here would be to do something where we could have the camera hover, like go higher into the air. That way it can still show the power lines going on forever, but rather than it having to keep very quickly create more power lines, um, should hopefully be a slower, easier transition. So we'll see here. Okay, that was not too bad. I didn't really see anything mess up there. Okay, so take that, add it to our video. We're about halfway done now. Audio here. Try -10. See what that looks like. Oops. -10.
And transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss. Combined with his invention of the
Okay. Now let's see what we're going to do next here.
Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale.
Okay, so that's going to be another 2 to 3 scenes probably. So it's 3 seconds. This is about 14 seconds total. How do I want to break it down?
Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor,
Let's take a look at what this AC induction motor looks like. Okay, that's what we saw in some of the other pictures. So let's do a scene here where he's just back in the lab with the AC induction motor. We had that in one of the previous ones. Yeah, right here. We've got the motors, the motors. So let's do that again. This time focusing on just the AC induction motor. So the astronaut and alien are in the lab with Nikola Tesla. Tesla is working on an AC induction motor. The alien is assisting Tesla. The astronaut appears uninterested. Let's have him doing something else. Uninterested and playing with a cat. Okay, let's take a look at that. All right, which one do we want to go with? This one's got a very tiny alien. He's standing on the table. Hmm. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one has not a whole lot of moving parts or little things to mess up, not all these wires and so let's go with that video. How long is it got to be? Very short. So 53 seconds to 49:13. So only 4 seconds long. 4 seconds. Which one was it? This one. Astronaut and alien are in a lab with, again, a man. During the late 1800s. Uh, the man is working on an AC induction motor. The alien is assisting the man. Astronaut appears uninterested. The astronaut is playing with the cat. The astronaut is playing with a cat. Camera remains stationary. No music and no speech. Let's give that a shot. All right. The sound of the cat purring kind of overpowers everything else, but it's a very short scene. I'll take it.
Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible.
-5 on audio.
Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale.
103, 5302. Three 27, 320. Okay, so what we can do, um, similar to this. So the script says Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale. Showing a small city powered by electricity via AC power. And we'll do it at nighttime to make it obvious. City powered by electricity. A Hangout shot during the late 1800s showing a small city at night powered by electricity via AC power. Okay. See, one thing I don't like about these is it kind of, you can tell it just ends. It looks like almost like it's floating out in the middle of nowhere because there's nothing in the background. Same here. The road just ends. Even this one. What is the deal here? Why is it doing that? It's like it's just doing it on a small little square plot of land. Um, this is the only one, actually. It's got the background. Don't know why it's got a horse carrying a little tram. But that's one of those small weird details. Shouldn't matter too much here. So let's go with this one. This video's got to be, oops, frames, 10 seconds, one video, and so a high angle shot during the late 1800s showing a small city at night powered by electricity via AC power. Um, have the sound of horse-drawn carriage, crickets, and crickets can be heard. No music, no speech. Okay, let's give that one a shot. All right, let's take a look. It was looking good up until this point right here, where the horse all of a sudden walks backwards. So let's And I think one of the issues is because the camera was rotating. So I think if the camera stays stationary, we'll probably not have that issue. So the camera remains stationary. Okay, let's take a look here. A horse is walking backwards. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to. Where is that image? The monorail. Hopefully that'll fix that issue because there shouldn't be a horse pulling it anyway. Or, uh, but now got rid of the horse over here. And I guess this random horse right there too. But maybe the way I have the audio set up, it'll just generate ones for me since I have the sound of horse-drawn carriage can be heard. See if that generates one for us, even though there may not be one on screen to start with. Now, it did add these weird looking people. Were they in the original photo? Oh, they were. I didn't even realize. Oh, all right. We'll go with it. Thankfully, nothing messed up here. So download it. And let's go ahead and add it to our scene or to the video. So that is the longest scene, I think, so far. 10 seconds long. And let's take a look at how that sounds.
Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale. Beyond the
Okay,
power grid,
not bad. All right, now we are officially halfway through the video. Let's see, what is the next portion here?
beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipated technologies decades ahead of their time.
Okay, so for this one, so that's 11:18. So that's going to be about an 8-second clip. What we can do for this one is we'll have go back to the astronaut and alien. Um, Astronaut and alien are in the lab with Nikola Tesla during the late 1800s. Tesla is let's have him writing down script say again. Beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipate technologies decades ahead of their time. So let's have him kind of brainstorming. Tesla is brainstorming future technological ideas on a chalkboard. The alien is assisting Tesla, and the astronaut appears uninterested. And let's have him doing something else. He um is laying on the floor. Alien's eyes, astronaut's eyes remain blacked out. Okay, so let's see. This will be interesting to see what futuristic ideas it comes up with. Oh, nice. So it actually came up with some of his own ideas, which was this global wireless grid. Um, don't necessarily like the, the astronaut like that, um, but maybe we'll go with it. Let's see. World wireless system, remote control. Yeah. Which one to go with? Controlled boats, which is something we talk about. Robotics. I like this one. The astronauts over here just chilling. Video. How long did I say? I think I said 8 seconds. 20. Yep. Exactly 8 seconds. All right. 8 seconds. Frame. Which one? This one. So astronaut and alien are in a lab with, again, a man during the late 1800s. The man is brainstorming future technological ideas on a chalkboard. The alien is assisting the man. The astronaut appears uninterested and is laying on the floor. Camera remains stationary. Um, what kind of sound do I want here? So I don't know if I put chalkboard sound, it's going to be weird if they're not writing on the chalkboard. So, and it isn't, there's really isn't any space for them to write anything else on. So I could do, it looks like it's nighttime. So the sound of a fireplace can be heard, just to give it some sort of ambient sound. Camera remains stationary. The sound of a fireplace can be heard. No music, no speech, because I don't want them talking. Okay, give that a shot. See what that looks like. And looks like this one shouldn't have an issue either generating. All right, let's take a look.
Received.
Ugh, why do you have to talk? And I also don't like that they keep looking at the astronaut. I want them just focused on the chalkboard. So the astronaut man is brainstorming future technological ideas on a chalkboard. The man and alien do not look at the astronaut and ignore him. The astronaut appears uninterested and is laying on the floor. Let's reiterate, they do not talk. Or better yet, we do not hear what they say. So that way, maybe it'll show that they're talking, but we don't hear them. We don't hear what they are saying. And then regenerate. And then after this scene, well, once we get this scene done, we'll play back what we've made so far, see how it sounds, and then we'll go from there. But, okay, much better. Not sure why he writes robot, but not a big deal. I mean, he writes it right above robotics, but it's all right. And I didn't really pay attention to the astronaut. What is he doing? Nothing. Just chilling. Awesome. Okay. And this one, we might not need to adjust the audio.
Beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipated technologies decades ahead of their time. He pioneered.
Awesome. So we're at a minute and 11 seconds, which is just over halfway. We'll check out the video so far, see how it is looking.
Who was Nikola Tesla? Born in 1856 in modern-day Croatia, Tesla was a visionary electrical engineer and inventor whose brilliant innovations laid the technological foundation for the modern electrified world. While history often pitted him against rivals like Thomas Edison in the famous War of the Currents, Tesla's revolutionary work transformed how civilization generates, transmits, and uses power. Tesla's greatest breakthrough was the alternating current electrical system. Unlike direct current, alternating current could be efficiently stepped up to high voltages using transformers and transmitted across hundreds of miles with minimal energy loss. Combined with his invention of the AC induction motor, Tesla made it possible to deliver reliable, affordable electricity to entire cities, powering factories and homes on a global scale. Beyond the power grid, Tesla's fertile imagination anticipated technologies decades ahead of their time. He pioneered early radio wave transmission.
Okay, so it's looking pretty good so far. Um, I'm happy with it. So what I'm going to do, because I haven't taken a break, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. So I will take about 2 to 3 minutes, and then we can pick up where we left off. so I am back and pick up where we left off. So that's it.
He pioneered early radio wave transmission, designed high-frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils, and built one of the world's first wireless remote-controlled boats, laying the groundwork for modern robotics.
So that right there is going to be 4 different scenes. At least that's how I want to break it up. So it's not um, just one long scene. This will be scene one,
He pioneered early radio wave transmission,
scene one,
designed high-frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils,
scene two.
and built one of the world's first wireless remote-controlled boats, laying the groundwork for
So that'll be scene three. And then scene four will be the modern
laying the
day
groundwork for modern robotics.
scene four. All right, so first one, and let's see how long it's got to
He
be.
pioneered early radio wave transmission,
Okay. Um, so how we're going to do this? We'll do the astronaut and alien. What did the script say exactly again? Pioneered early radio wave transmission. So the astronaut and alien are in the lab with Nikola Tesla during late 1800s. Tesla is testing out an early radio. Alien is assisting Tesla. The astronaut appears uninterested. And let's see, what do we want him to be doing this time around? The astronaut is just have him. Astronaut is uninterested and is off in the corner. Alien's eyes. Okay, so let's test that out. I don't know why it gave Tesla a full beard here. Sometimes I don't understand why it'll do things like this, where I said I wanted testing early radio, and then they'll have a poster that says testing early radio. Doesn't make any sense. None of these really look like an early radio to me, aside from these two down here, because you've got the little receiver or transmitter. Same with this one. That's more of an early phone, maybe. Maybe I could do something where the alien is holding holding a transmitter up to his ear, and Tesla's talking through another one. So astronaut and alien are in a lab. Tesla is testing out an early radio, speaking into a, what would that be called? A microphone. And the alien is listening to a receiver to see if he can hear him. Let's get rid of this. The alien is assisting Tesla. Astronaut. All right. Let's try that out. And he's got a full beard there. Don't like that. That looks more like a phone. This one to me is more of a radio. So here you are. He's got Tesla with that microphone, and then the alien over here with the little earpiece. So we'll go with that one. Video, 4 seconds. Astronaut and alien are in a lab with, again, a man during the late 1800s. The man is testing out an early radio, speaking into a microphone, and the alien listening to a receiver to see if he can hear him. Astronaut appears uninterested and is off in the corner. The camera remains stationary. We hear the click of a radio. No music, no speech. All right, test that out. Okay. So what I don't like here is you can see Tesla holding a phone receiver, even though he's got this microphone in front of him. So right here, it's like he picks it up. It just morphs into his hand. So let's try that again one more time. If it does it again, I'll give it some sort of instruction to where he's just talking into the microphone on the table in front of him. I didn't even look at the astronaut. Let's see what he's doing. Yeah, no one's really gonna be paying attention to him, but it looks like he's got a little walkie-talkie or something that just appears into his hand. Okay. That um, -10 probably.
Their time. He pioneered early radio wave transmission, designed high-frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils.
Okay, that worked out well. Next scene, 1421 to 1922. So we needed to be 6 seconds. And this, we could probably use another scene from the very beginning. Use that one already. Yeah, let's go with this one. So I will use the same instructions I used for the other one, but now we're going to use a different image. And then that one needs to be 6 seconds long. All right, let's give that a shot. Okay. Perfect. And that we'll probably have to put the volume way down. I'm guessing -20.
Designed high-frequency electrical transformers known as Tesla coils, and built one of the world's first wireless remote-controlled boats.
Okay. And this one, 2328, 1922. So let's extend this to 28. Perfect. So a 4 second clip of the astronaut and alien are standing on the edge of a lake with Nikola Tesla during the late 1800s. Tesla is testing out a wireless boat, is what it said, right? Wireless remote controlled boat. Tesla is testing out a wireless sea boat. The astronaut What do we want him to be doing? Let's have him fishing. The astronaut appears uninterested and is fishing. Alien is watching the boat with is watching the boat. Let's give that a shot. All right. Um, it's a good one. Although I wish the little boat was pointed the other direction. Um, this one's not too bad, despite the astronaut fishing in shallow water. Let's go with this one. I think this is the best one. It's only a 4-second clip. All right, the astronaut and alien are standing on the edge of a lake with a man. Man is testing out a wireless RC boat. The alien is watching the boat. Yes. Camera remains stationary. Tick, no speech. And this one, I don't think I need to give it direction for audio since it's kind of self-explanatory. So we'll see how that turns out. While that is loading, I'm going to check something else here really quick. Okay. Well, that one would have been not too bad, but you could see here he's got a third hand popping out of nowhere. So redo the scene. Hopefully it'll turn out a little bit better. I just wish the boat was going out into the lake as opposed to, you know, a whole 2 feet into land. That gets the job done.
Oils, and built one of the world's first wireless remote-controlled boats, laying the groundwork for modern robotics.
Okay. Last scene of this little series. 27, 21, 23, 28. So one more 4-second scene. So this said, what did it say?
Laying the groundwork for modern robotics.
Okay. So for that, that should be easy. We can jump to modern time. Astronaut and alien are in a modern, let's do Chinese because the Chinese seem to have some crazy robots right now. Astronaut and alien are in a modern Chinese robotics facility watching a demonstration of the robot of modern robot capabilities of modern. See what kind of robots it shows us. Want to deal or do anything with these robot arms. I'd rather have a humanoid robot, so I should have made that known. This doesn't make sense. The astronaut and alien are massive. So let's specify modern Chinese robotics facility watching a demonstration of modern humanoid robot capabilities. All right, what do we have here? This one looks to be some robots dancing or doing yoga poses. This one is a robot walking through some sort of Shifting terrain. Oh, looks like it's balancing some blocks. What about this? Is it just robots interacting? I've been seeing a lot of videos lately of the robots in China. They just had like a robotic Olympics. So let's do the astronaut and alien are at a running track watching Chinese robots sprint across the track. I didn't like I didn't like the pictures there in the lab. I don't know why they're looking like Iron Man. Chinese themed looking robots. Just happens to be the color of Iron Man. This looks like Iron Man. I'm gonna use those. These are those robot dogs. It's not too bad. Let's produce a few more pictures. Okay. Ooh, I like these ones. They're little cute looking robots. Or these ones look kind of cool. Let's try the little robots first. Video, how long did it have to be? 23, 28, so 4 seconds long. Frames. Astronaut and alien are at a running track watching Chinese robots. Sprint across the track. Music, no speech. I'm not going to lock the camera here, so we'll see if it follows the robots. No music, no speech. Sound of robots running. Okay. Well, I didn't like that they didn't move at first. They're running in place. Let's try that one more time. And then what I may have to do is increase it to a 6 second video so it's not cutting it short. And then that way, if it still starts with them running in place, I could probably crop it out or cut it out and still have 4 seconds of them actually moving. Take a look. It's better. That you can actually cut out a very small portion of the beginning. Let's put the audio -10, and let's see how that looks.
Boats, laying the groundwork for modern robotics. Boats, laying the groundwork for
Perfect.
modern robotics. At Niagara Falls.
All right, so I got the majority of the video done, a minute and a half. I'm probably going to call it quits just because haven't had too many people come in. I don't know if I have anyone right now, so it's a bit draining to be doing this. But hopefully, the goal here is, the more often I do this, the more interest I'll get, and even if it's just a handful of people, that's going to help more than anything, especially with helping me get the channel monetized, which is going to be a very big motivator for me as far as to continue to produce this content and to just kind of see progress in what it is I'm doing with the channel. So if you are watching, if anyone's watching, or if you end up watching the video on demand after that gets uploaded, I appreciate any support that you guys have. In this case, really the only support I would like to see is, um, or would appreciate more than anything, is just hanging around, watching some videos, helping me uh, build up those watch hours, sharing content if you find anything interesting. And, the goal is by year's end, that's what I've told myself. So I've got another 3 months to really start kicking things into overdrive and producing hopefully more engaging content, but also building a community of people who are like-minded or just enjoy, learning something new here and there, and um, just appreciate the effort I'm putting into this all, even with no one really watching at the moment. But I'm confident that'll change. So we'll pick up tomorrow on finishing this video. I've only got about 30 seconds left of it, so probably only take about an hour, if that. And then, depending on time, we'll upload it. I'll show you the process that I go through to get it uploaded, which is not very difficult. And then probably start on my next video as well tomorrow. So we released today the, what video was it? I already forgot. The greenhouse effect. That was the one we were working on yesterday or finishing up yesterday. Unfortunately, let's look at the analytics. Let's refresh. Probably still struggling here. Yeah, I'm not getting too many views. 876. Not much of a change there, but yeah, unfortunately, 0 views. But I'm confident that'll change here in the future. So 0 views. The video before that, 6 views. It's it is what it is, but I am not going to give up just yet. So anyway, I appreciate you guys. Anyone who is watching, has watched, or will watch this later, and I will be back tomorrow streaming again and finish up the video. Appreciate it. Thank you, and have a great day.